World's best views you can only get to on foot.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Talltanic. I'm your host, Alexa. Some of the most beautiful places on Earth are gonna require a little bit more work to get to. Before we get into today's video, I want to take a minute to thank some of our newest subscribers. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Supai, Grand Canyon, Arizona. Few people know that at the bottom of the Grand Canyon live a small population in the tiny town of Supai. For anyone wanting to get away from the urban madness and head for isolation, this is the place for you. It's so remote that mail is delivered by mule. Surrounded by the steep walls of the Grand Canyon, you can climb waterfalls, float down flowing rivers, and take in the views and tranquility. Barn Bluff, Tasmania, Australia. Barney, as Barn Bluff is affectionately known, is the fourth highest peak in Tasmania and worth a wander up. Most people head to the better-known Cradle Mountain, but the advantages of empty walking paths and pristine views make Barney's a dream option for the serious adventurer. It is a multi-day hike to the boulder summit. Pero Taktsong, Bhutan.
Literally the birthplace of Buddhism, the Taktsong Monastery hangs off the side of a cliff above the Paro Valley. It's a 2-hour hike to get to the monastery, and it is not recommended for beginners.
The Narrows, Utah, USA. These canyons warrant legendary status. You will recognize the spectacular ochre walls and high canyon walls from many an Instagram post. The dramatic landscape changes colors with the light of the day, so bank a full day or opt for the overnight camping experience to really take it all in. Beginner hikers should opt for the bottom-up route where you will start at the Temple of Sinowava. More experienced hikers might enjoy the top-down route, which offers a more challenging experience beginning at Chamberlain's Ranch. Cinque Terre, Italy. You will find Cinque Terre on Italy's Riviera coastline, and it's a series of 5 seaside villages that are centuries old. You can sail to the villages and then explore them on foot and enjoy the views from the high cliffs the towns are perched on. One of the standout features are the colorful houses dotting the steep hills winding up the cliffs from the harbor. The area is full of vineyards and known for its wine, so perhaps it's a good thing to explore it on foot. Look out for their famous pestos and plenty of seafood, and even the opportunity to get your own catch with the local fishermen. Stromboli, Italy. Off the Italian coast sits the small island of Stromboli. You can take a hike through the island's landscape from its black, sandy beaches to the top of the volcanoes. Yeah, you heard right. Volcanoes. There are 3 active volcanoes on the island, and they are so real, they still occasionally erupt and are constantly emitting clouds of smoke, really adding to the drama of the whole experience. The hikes are a steep climb to the top of the volcano. Before you set sail for your day of hiking, check the volcanic explosivity index to avoid an eruption. Don't say I didn't warn you. Hornstrandir West Fjords, Iceland. This is remote at its best. Dramatic landscapes, rugged, breathtaking cliffs, edge views, and complete silence. You won't find a road, hotel, or home in the entire region of Iceland's northwest, but you will find snow-capped peaks and have the opportunity to walk all day without seeing a single soul. Monteverde Cloud Forest, Costa Rica. This tropical forest nature reserve is set up to be enjoyed by foot. It has a large network of great hiking trails that are all well maintained and ready to be explored. You can get a bird's eye view of the forest from a suspension bridge over a valley on one of the routes. The plant and animal life are immense, and you won't run out of interesting things to see and bird songs to hear. Preikestolen, Norway. This is another popular Insta-worthy photo destination, but is truly a marvel worth the walk. The Preikestolen is a 600-meter-high natural stone platform that drops abruptly straight down to the deep blue fjords below. It's only a 2.3-mile hike up to the flat top, and the views of the famous fjords are unrivaled. You'll be able to see pro base jumpers doing their daredevil stunts if the conditions are right. Mont Saint-Michel, France.
You have to time your visit here perfectly. It's not a treacherous hike to get here, but it is totally tide dependent. Mont Saint-Michel is an old Gothic Benedictine abbey off the coast of France in the English Channel. You can access it only by a sandy causeway that reveals itself, but only during low tide.
Laguna Verde, Bolivia. Laguna Verde is a lake in a volcanic crater. The water in question is situated in the crater of Volcan Licancabur. The water of the lake is a vibrant blue color and is the highest body of water in the world. To get to the lake is an 8-hour hike. Start at San Pedro de Atacama for a shorter walk, or for a longer challenge, start at the Salt Flats of Bolivia. There's even more to see on this route. Crater Rim Trail, Hawaii. There aren't many hikes through the actual active volcanoes. But here is one. There's plenty to see on the hike, even though it is an active volcano. You will spot animal and plant life along the way. The hike circles Kilauea's summit and is an 11-mile walk. There are shorter drive and walk options for those not up for the full distance. It's also open to bikes if you prefer. Dingle Peninsula, Ireland. Take a walk on the wild side of Ireland, which isn't a particularly wild place, but you will see rocky cliff edges, sandy beaches, green grasslands, and the deep blue Atlantic. It's a lookout point for whales and dolphins, so keep an eye out for telltale splashes as they jump out of the water. Extend your hiking in the area and explore Mount Brandon, and there are plenty of Celtic historical sites in the area too. Nunavut, Canada. Swap regular land hiking for walking on water. Well, frozen water. Nunavut in the Canadian Arctic archipelago is one of the rare places you can hike through glaciers and fjords. It is really remote, so to get to the start of any hike, you need to take a plane or boat to the region first. The area consists of a few remote villages where you can base yourself and head out from there and explore by foot as far as your feet will take you. Minority villages of Guizhou, China. Experience some of these ethnic minorities of China and their unique traditions in the Guizhou region of China. These groups still subscribe to many ancient traditional ways of their Dong, Miao, Buyei, and Shui cultures, and you can enjoy traditional crafts like weaving, embroidery, jewelry, batik, and paper cutting still in practice today. There are also unique foods and drinks which are specific to these groups. The Kimberley, Western Australia. The outback of Australia is not for sissies, but the payoff is exceptional. Head out well prepared and make sure you are with an experienced hiking group as you explore the Kimberley area in the far north of Western Australia. It is a massive area, 3 times the size of England, with a harsh landscape of vast, rocky emptiness, but the scenes of steep gorges, rivers, and plains are well worth the trip. Mirador, Guatemala. This Mayan settlement in Guatemala is named El Mirador, which literally means the lookout or the viewpoint in Spanish. The beautiful Mayan settlement was once a vibrant city but was abandoned around 900 AD. The area is skillfully mapped out to encourage hiking and exploration with well-maintained hikes including boardwalks and suspension bridges to make your path a little easier. Atacama Desert, Chile. This is a remote region of Chile, and if you're tired of being on the hamster wheel of life, then this is the perfect place to escape. This desert features hot springs, lagoons, salt flats, ancient ruins, and small villages. I mean, you really couldn't ask for more. It's one of the driest parts of the world, and it's also the place where NASA tested out their Martian rovers. Add stargazing, dune surfing, and pink flamingos, and you have a holiday you'll remember forever. Refugio Torre di Pisa, Italy. Translated, this means Refuge Tower of Pisa, and it's an alpine shelter in Predazzo, which was named after a rock that resembles the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The hike includes grabbing a ride in a bubble car and a chairlift, and the rest you do on foot. This is best to do in the summer because in winter, you need some cross-country skis or snowshoes. Great if that's your vibe, but it's much easier to complete in the summer. Views are breathtaking regardless of what season you decide to complete it in. Ciudad Perdida, Colombia. This is one of the most popular hikes in the world, and it's easy to see why.
Also called the Lost City, Ciudad Perdida was constructed 650 years before Machu Picchu. It's tucked away in the jungles of the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta Mountains. Oh, and it takes a week to hike there.
The area was only discovered in the 70s, and those that have hiked there say it can all be done by a novice, so book this one now. Sawtooth Lake, Idaho. This exquisite mountain lake is hidden in the Sawtooth Mountains, and in order to reach it, you have to do a 5-mile hike from Iron Creek. Best time to go is late summer, as the lake stays frozen for a huge portion of the year. There's a bit of climbing involved too, but you'll be rewarded with spectacular views of the surrounding mountains with their snow-capped peaks and the brilliant blue lake. Doubt you'll be swimming though. It's freezing. Patagonia, Chile. At the southern end of America is Patagonia, one of the most remote regions of the area where dirt and gravel is the norm and roads are a luxury. Around 100,000 people live in Patagonia, with a few living in small estancias in and amongst the fjords, glaciers, and mountains. There's a well-known saying that goes, "Those that hurry in Patagonia waste time." The best way to explore this phenomenal area is by foot and by immersing yourself in nature and peaceful space. Pilgrim's Way to Holy Land, Northumberland. This special walk can only be done when the tides are low, so plan your trip accordingly. It's only low for a few hours every day and then reveals a causeway that's safe for you to walk on. The path is dotted by an upright line of poles which lead you to the Holy Island from Lindisfarne. The walk takes around 2 hours to complete, and the destination has been a place of pilgrimage since 635.
Those are a ton of beautiful places so far, and we still have one really cool one to go. But what do you think? Are these views worth the adventure? Let me know in the comments down below.
1. Chasm Lake, Colorado. This is a hike that is not for beginners, so if you like what you see, you better start going on more hikes so you too can enjoy the splendor of Chasm Lake. You start the trail at Long's Peak Trailhead and then head off to the lake tucked away in the Rocky Mountain National Park. The elevation is 13,000 feet and you will need to do a bit of rock climbing to reach it. The view is said to be stunning. Plus, you'll have some incredible images that you can put on your Instagram when you get home.